You exist. This seems obvious, unremarkable. You're here, reading these words. Of course you exist, but consider what had to have happened for you to be here. Your parents had to meet at the exact moment they met, under the exact circumstances they met. Any variation, a different party, a missed train, a changed decision, and they met someone else, or no one at all. The same is true for their parents, and every ancestor going back through thousands of generations. A single different choice, a single different death, a single different meeting anywhere in that chain, and you don't exist. Not a different version of you, not you with slight modifications, you specifically never happened at all. The probability of your existence is so small that mathematically you shouldn't be here, yet you are. Scientists have started calculating these possibilities, not as philosophy, but as mathematics, and what they found challenges what we think about identity, chance, and what it means to be someone rather than no one. Start with conception. A single ejaculation contains roughly 250 million sperm. Each sperm carries a unique genetic combination. Only one fertilizes the egg. If a different sperm had won the race, a different person would exist. Same parents, different child. Different genetics, different brain, different consciousness. The probability that that specific sperm that created you was the one that succeeded, roughly 1 in 250 million. But that's just one conception event. Your parents likely had intercourse many times. The specific timing of conception that produced you was one possibility among hundreds of thousands. Different timing means different eggs, different sperm populations, different outcomes. Already before considering anything about your ancestors, the probability of you specifically is vanishingly small. Now multiply backward through generations. Each of your parents exists only because of an equally impossible conception event. Each of their parents the same. Every generation another 1 in hundreds of millions lottery. Go back 10 generations, that's roughly 250 years. You have about 1,024 ancestors at that level. Each one, the product of an impossible conception. Each conception had to produce the specific person for the chain to continue to you. Go back 20 generations, over 1 million ancestors, each one essential. Go back 40 generations, over 1 trillion ancestors, an incomprehensible number of specific conceptions, each one necessary. The mathematician Ali Benazir calculated the probability of your existence considering all these factors. His estimate about 1 in 10 to the power of 2,685,000. That's a 1 followed by nearly 2.7 million zeros. For comparison, the number of atoms in the observable universe is estimated at 10 to the power of 80. The probability of your existence is unimaginably smaller than randomly selecting one specific atom from everything that exists. The math gets worse. Your parents didn't just need to conceive you, they needed to meet first. Consider the number of people your father could have met during his reproductive years. Thousands, tens of thousands, if he lived in a city, potentially hundreds of thousands. The same for your mother. For them to meet, they had to be in the same place at the same time. They had to notice each other. They had to interact. Their interaction had to lead to a relationship. The relationship had to last long enough to produce you. Change any variable and they don't meet. Or they meet but don't connect, or they connect but don't stay together. Now apply this to every ancestral pair, thousands of generations of meetings, each one contingent on countless specific circumstances. Your great-great-grandmother took a particular route to the market one day. Your great-great-grandfather happened to be there. They spoke. Everything followed from that moment. Different route, no conversation, no you. Your ancestors didn't just need to meet and reproduce. They needed to survive long enough to do so. Throughout human history, mortality was brutal. Disease, famine, violence, accidents, roughly half of all children died before reaching reproductive age throughout most of history. Every one of your ancestors survived childhood. Everyone avoided death long enough to reproduce. Everyone escaped the countless threats that killed their siblings and peers. A single childhood death anywhere in your ancestral line and the chain breaks. Consider war. How many of your ancestors were soldiers? How many were civilians in conflict zones? Each one survived when others didn't. Consider famine. Your ancestors found food when others starved. Your ancestors avoided the plague that killed millions around them. Luck repeated across thousands of generations. The improbability extends beyond human history. Go back far enough and your ancestors weren't human. They were earlier primates, earlier mammals, earlier vertebrates. At each stage, specific individuals had to survive and reproduce. Specific genetic mutations had to occur and spread. Specific environmental conditions had to exist. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs 66 million years ago created conditions for mammals to flourish. Different asteroid trajectory, different outcome for mammalian evolution. Your existence depends on that asteroid hitting where and when it did. Go further back, the formation of Earth in a habitable zone around a stable star, the specific conditions that allowed life to emerge, the survival of early organisms throughout multiple extinction events. The probability calculation extends to cosmic scales. At every scale, the improbability compounds. Here's where the mathematics becomes philosophical. When we say the probability of you existing is nearly zero, what do we mean by you? If a different sperm had fertilized the egg, would that person have been you? They would have had the same parents, grown up in the same environment, been called by your name, but they would have had different genetics. A different brain, different predispositions, different experiences arising from those differences. Most philosophers would say that person wouldn't be you. They'd be your sibling, a different person. Your identity seems tied to a specific physical instantiation, the specific genetic combination, the specific development process, the specific brain that emerged. This means you couldn't have existed under different circumstances. You couldn't have been born to different parents. You couldn't have been born at a different time. You were so specific that only this exact sequence of events could produce you. Here's the puzzle that physicists grapple with. The probability of your existence is effectively zero, yet you exist. You're here observing your own improbability. This is a version of the anthropic principle. We can only observe universes compatible with our existence. We can only be people whose ancestral chain were unbroken. There's no mystery to the fact that you exist. Despite low probability, you couldn't be here asking the question if the improbable hadn't happened. But this explanation, while logically valid, doesn't resolve the emotional vertigo of confronting the numbers. You are a statistical impossibility who exists. Every person you've ever met is a statistical impossibility who exists. The human world is populated entirely by events that shouldn't have happened. Some philosophers derive ethical implications from existence and probability. If your existence is so unlikely they are you, then existence itself is a kind of gift, not from any giver, but in the sense that being something that almost didn't happen. This could generate gratitude, not gratitude towards anyone, but gratitude as an orientation, an appreciation for the sheer improbability of being here at all. Every moment of existence is borrowed from an overwhelmingly likely alternative in which you never existed. Every experience, good or bad, is an experience that almost wasn't. The bad experiences are still bad, suffering is still suffering, but it's suffering experienced by someone who almost wasn't here to experience anything. Some find this comforting, others find it irrelevant, but the mathematics remain regardless of how we feel about them. The improbability extends forward. Your children, if you have them, will be equally improbable. The specific sperm, the specific egg, the specific timing, different by a day, different child, different person entirely. Every future human depends on a chain of improbable events that haven't happened yet. Most possible future people will never exist. The ones who do will be statistical miracles. From this perspective, every birth is as improbable as your own. Every person who will ever live is a winning lottery ticket in a lottery with trillions of losers. The human future will be populated by impossibilities just like the human present. Consider the people who don't exist. For every person alive, there are uncountable potential people who weren't born. Different sperm, different timing, different meetings, different survival outcomes, an infinity of ghosts who never materialized. In some sense, you took the slot that could have been occupied by trillions of alternatives, not consciously, not by choice, but by the mathematics of how genetics and contingency work. Those alternatives aren't somewhere else. They simply never existed. There's no parallel universe where they live. The probability collapsed to you, and they vanish into a permanent non-being. The non-existent don't suffer, they're non-existence. They don't experience loss, they simply aren't. You're the one who exists. Right now, in this moment, you exist. That statement will stay true for a finite number of moments. Someday it will stop being true. The improbable event of your existence will end. This isn't morbid, it's mathematical. The same contingency that brought you into this existence contains no guarantee of continuity. The window of your existence is brief against evolutionary time, momentary against the cosmic time, a flicker. But in that flicker, you're here, experiencing, processing these ideas, being the person that trillions of almost people never got to be. The improbability that created you concentrates into this moment. Each moment is as unlikely as your existence itself. Each moment is the continuation of a chain that almost broke countless times. Thank you for watching. If this exploration of existence probability revealed something new about the strange fact of being here at all, consider subscribing for more investigations into the science of being human.